An impressive display by CJ Stroud in the ugliest practice of training camp. Plus, who are the glue guys on this Texans team? Let's get into that. Let's go 6 and 60 as well. Let's go inside the locker room here on YouTube.
Hey, locker room. Yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk. Yeah, you know what we about to do. Localized, every angle's what we really do. We the source, we the pulse of the city too. Landlocked, got the game in the headlock. Localized every time, can't stop, won't stop. Yeah, we top 2 and we not too. Plugged in daily digital on YouTube. We got taste for days, opinions to give, we got takeaways.
All right, appreciate everyone for coming through. It is the Locker Room, #1 source for Texans digital content. I'm Landry Locker. You can see me right here. I've been at every practice. I got you covered. And if you missed the update on a very ugly yet very rewarding practice with the Texans, go ahead and check that out. Stream that earlier today at 1:30. I'll be out there tomorrow. We're less than 12 hours away from that. Got people from SoCal. Shout out to Chris Shannon. Thank you very much. Patty, thank you for coming through. BG, say you're driving back from Rio Grande Valley, tuning into the Locker Room. Much love. Shout out to the Stros for smoking the Dodgers. Shout out to 10K. We're at 10.1K. By the way, now yesterday we were talking about getting to 10K. We're already got 100 since that even happened. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like, right along. It is the best digital beat reporting that you will get from the king of localizing, and it's a fun time to cover this Texans squad. We'll get into the theme of practice in a sec. Also going to talk about who the glue guys are as well on this squad. Shout out to Bishop. Appreciate you for coming through. How is Peachy playing at nickel? He's playing pretty good. We break that down overall, although we haven't seen him in a game, so we'll see how that is. Nico with the catch. Thank you very much for being new to the channel. It's going to be a really fun ride. So I'm going to go 6 and 60 on Fridays. 6 and 60. 6 beers in 60 minutes. That's going to be the new thing. Today's beer is going to be Love Street. Love Street, big fan, Carbach. 6 beers, 60 minutes, not 60 seconds. That's some Joey Chestnut type stuff, I would think. But let's try to go 6 and 60. You are a loophole. Shout out to you, man, for coming through. If you still are one, if they still do that, I don't know if they kept my bits. I don't know if they keep all this stuff, all the ideas. I mean, if they didn't, they wouldn't have any benchmarks. So I'm assuming that maybe they keep that, like confessions and all that type of stuff. But who knows? But I appreciate you for coming through, Bishop. So here's my question. Who are the glue guys for this team? And we'll hear from a couple of them in a sec. But who are my glue guy? Who are your glue guys for this squad? Not the stars. A glue guy is someone can't have a massive contract. Can't say Laramie Tunsil's a glue guy or Dalton Schultz is a glue guy. Glue guys, basketball terms. The Robert Ory's in the early Rockets days. The Otis Thorpes, like those type of guys. Who are the glue guys for this squad for the Texans? I want to talk about something impressive about today's practice. And I think this is really, really, really interesting. And I thought it was actually pretty cool. And I shout out to Miguel Martinez for hopping through. He actually tagged me on this because I guess I tweeted it out and it went into a chat room or whatever, Texans chat room or whatever. I was mentioning through 3 team periods how sloppy the Texans looked on offense and how terrible they looked, how awful it was. And CJ Stroud was clearly frustrated. CJ Stroud, it looked like he may have thrown a water bottle. He was not yelling at his teammates. He was kind of gathering his teammates around and telling them, hey, let's get it together. They had 1 team period left. And I said at the time of the tweet, it'll be interesting to see how they respond, because ugly practices are going to happen. And I get a kick out of the people that say, well, the defense is always going to be ahead of the offense early in camp. That may be true, but I know how to proportionalize what a sloppy practice is. And there were multiple penalties. And you can go back and look at the recap that I put out earlier today. I mean, there was a penalty on team period 3 on the first play of it, which is like having a penalty on the first play of a timeout. There were instances where there were back-to-back penalties. There was a lot of miscommunication. It was very, very sloppy. It wasn't like some slugfest where the defense was getting better. It was a sloppy-ass practice. And CJ Stroud at the end of team period 3 was really, really frustrated. He gathered his teammates around, and he basically was saying, let's get our bleep together. And my thing during team period 3, as we're covering a practice, is I want to see how they respond, because sloppy practices are going to happen. And yes, oftentimes the defense has the advantage over the offense, but this was the worst that the offense had looked since CJ Stroud has been here. And quite frankly, I don't remember it looking this bad for a while. There were penalties, there was miscommunication, all that. CJ Stroud gathered the troops around. He yelled. And I remember I was talking to a member of the Texans staff at the time, and I said, let's see how they respond to this. Because that's really where you judge things. And they responded by having their best sequence of the entire practice. They had their best sequence of the entire practice. CJ Stroud found Tank Dell midfield. Then he found Nico on a deep postish slant type of thing. And they had their best offensive sequence of the entire practice. So I thought it was a good response. I thought it was a good thing. If DeMeco Ryans described the practice as sloppy, I would agree with DeMeco. I thought it was a sloppy ass practice. And that's not anything to get upset about. That's just the information that I gathered. It's what the coach said. But I think it shows just the leadership of CJ Stroud, really the wherewithal of CJ Stroud. I mean, CJ Stroud doesn't have to get upset about a sloppy practice. I mean, there's probably some quarterbacks who would just, hey, let's get through this, and then we'll go through. No, he wanted to finish strong. And he made it clear he wanted to finish strong. And CJ Stroud gathered the team around. He showed his leadership, and they responded. And you listen to CJ Stroud's talk, and you listen to the rest of these players talk, and the rest of these guys, they gravitate towards him. They sound like him. Like they all seem spiritual. They all seem to like each other. They all talk about being brothers. They all talk about liking each other. And a lot of times you hear teammates say that, but you don't see the response. You saw it right here. Ugly ass weather, ugly ass practice. About 10 minutes left of the practice. Let's get it together. Wasn't even the same squad. So I thought that was good. And it was a weak practice. Overall, DeMeco Ryans said as much. Let's hear what DeMeco Ryans had to say after this practice. Unsolicited, you'll hear him call it sloppy. That's not hating. That's just factual.
With today's practice, first off, it was good for us just to get in the elements, right? Getting in the rain. Everybody's been complaining about how hot it is in Houston. Now we got a lot of rain, but I'm happy we were able to get into this situation and see if guys can execute, right? With external factors that we don't control, can you still go out, operate, and execute? And today wasn't great by any means when we look at how sloppy we were. Just pre-snap penalties, right? And just guys being where they're supposed to be. So a lot to clean up, but I'm very thankful for having the NFL officials here today so we can get in, learn from our mistakes, and grow from it. So today was a huge, huge day for us when it comes to learning from it and getting better.
Thank you. And that's where ugly practices happen. And here's the other thing. I heard this, mentioned. Well, the weather was bad, so of course the offense is going to look sloppy. Here's the problem. And I'm already seeing it in the comments. Shout out to everyone for coming through. Appreciate y'all. Thanks again. Seriously, thanks for getting me to 10K. Subscribe, like, right along. We'll keep this going. I'll be at practice at 9. But let's just look at the teams that the Texans are going to be competing with, or the teams that you think are the biggest threat to the Texans reaching this goal, okay? We'll ignore the AFC South. It's going to be a tough division, but we'll ignore the AFC South, okay? Baltimore, ugly-ass weather. We saw it last year at the end of the season, ugly-ass weather. not great. Any other AFC North squad, ugly ass weather. AFC East, Jets, ugly weather. Bills, ugly weather. Chiefs, ugly weather. So you're going to have to play good in this ugly weather. And you heard DeMeco Ryans mention it. Let's hear more from the head coach of the Texans after CJ Stroud rallies the troops after a rough 75-80% of practice on Friday.
In regards to the Hall of Fame game, which is in less than a week, how will you approach like who you'll play? Like, will starters play at all, or who will play?
When it comes to the Hall of Fame game, we're still continuing to evaluate who will play. Right, still we got a few days before we get there. We'll evaluate who will play. But I mean, if you look at the premise of it, we'll definitely see a lot of our young guys in the Hall of Fame game. Try to see those guys get as many reps as possible.
Coach, year 2 for Scruggs. What do you see from him now that he's kind of settling into the center position?
I'm happy, excited about Juice in this second year around. Juice is doing a much better job of commanding the huddle, doing a much better job being a leader, and we're continuing to lean on him, continue to encourage him to continue to grow in that manner. Right, being the center, there's a lot on his plate when it comes to ID and formations, it's in the right calls versus the right looks. So it's a lot of Juice's plate, but he's done a great job with handling everything we've thrown at him. Just a matter of him just continue to improve, continue to do his best job of communicating.
Coach, this is the first time we got a chance to speak with you since.
This is DeMeco talking about the fight. Sarge asked him this.
Spirits was picked up a little bit last practice with the.
What do you mean?
with the on-field little skirmish, small kerfuffle. It was a little small one today. I've talked to you briefly about the intensity picking up. Is this just these guys competing? And as a former player, do you just sit back and say, "Hey, y'all go ahead and do what you need to"?
Well, when it comes to the skirmishes in practice, I don't want it. Right? I don't want it. I also understand it. Myself as a player, I was involved in some.
I think it's because it's rain and they're getting some stuff on their cords, and that's the deal with this DeMeco thing.
So I'm not gonna act like it doesn't happen, right? And the tempers, it raised, guys. You know, it's camp. It always happens in camp. You have skirmishes and fights, but what I tell guys is what can we learn from it? For me, if we're in a game, like, are you throwing hands in the game? If you do, then you're thrown out of the game. So for me, it's just learning a lesson, man. You throw punches, whatever you do, are you really protecting the team? Because now you're kicked out of the game. So I don't want it. I don't like it. It's sloppy. I think it's not representative of who we are, you know, as a team, as an organization. It's not what we're about. We're not encouraging that, but it does happen in camp. Just want guys to move forward from it. Nobody's holding any grudges. We're still teammates. We're still brothers.
All right, there you go. That's enough of that, DeMeco. Good Lord. We about to get hijacked. Couple questions. It is a Friday. It's a 6 and 60. Texans got practice tomorrow. Locker room. Appreciate everyone for getting me to 10K. Let's keep that going. Bullock needs to add about 10 to 15 pounds. Yeah, well, that's going to be a off-season type of thing. Miguel Martinez, whenever you finish the Texans talk, what do you think of Tua and Love contracts, what they mean for CJ? I mean, I don't know that they impact CJ too much. We're 2 years away from him even being eligible for one of those. So, I mean, it's inevitable that he's going to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. It's inevitable that the Texans are going to have to adjust accordingly when it comes to that. They're going to have to make some tough decisions. So that's really what it means. I don't, this point of the process, I don't think it really matters too much. Engineer, the defense didn't look sloppy though. Okay. I mean, how often does like a defense really look sloppy? But yeah, that's fair. Josh says, Landry, let's say a snake bit your mom. Would you suck the venom out for the Texans to win a title? Hit me if you know the reference. I think that's City Slickers 2. Is that right? I'm not sure. Maybe I'm off on that. Maybe it's like a completely different reference. I don't know. But I mean, if your mom's going to die, like, wouldn't you suck the venom out even if it meant anything? Like, what do you mean? Like, if the Texans aren't going to win the Super Bowl, I'll let my mom die, sucking the venom out. Like, if my mom got bit by a snake, kind of sick, Josh. What are you saying? Like, you just let your mom die unless she can win? Arnaldo says, I just watched Arian Foster's podcast today. He brought up DeMeco getting into a fight with Jeremy Shockey at a practice. He said DeMeco is going to say he's against it now, but he was all about it. LOL. Yeah, DeMeco said that. He said he's been into some of those fights. But yeah, your mindset probably changes from the perspective of a player and a coach. Yeah, I don't know what my man was talking about. Like your mom, if you got to get the poison out, you got to get the poison out. We'll get to the glue guys in a sec. Why did that remind me of the Titans? Because the Titans suck. Okay, gotcha. It was a question a reporter asked Shaq back in the 2006 finals. I think it was Corby Davidson, wasn't it? Wasn't it just a joke? Wasn't it Corby Davidson from Sports Radio 1310, The Ticket in Dallas? Because him and Shaq used to tell a lot of jokes. I remember there was like there was a hypothetical, and one of them was, would you rather do something or play basketball in like a Magic Johnson blood-soaked sock or something like that? I think it was Corby Davidson, if I'm not mistaken, for sure. But that was DeMeco Ryans. We're one in. We got 16, so we got 44 minutes left. Question of the night, and it is Friday night, so we're letting loose a little bit. Who are the glue guys on the Texans? Who are the guys, the unsung heroes on this squad? We know who the stars are. We talk about them all the time. But who are the true glue guys on this team? In other words, you need these guys. You need these guys. They might not get the respect. Who are the true glue guys for the Houston Texans? Brevin Jordan is a popular answer. I think it's interesting. I kind of feel like Brevin Jordan gets to a point now where, he was kind of looked at as a finesse guy. He's not a true tight end. He's more of a, historically he's played running back. Is he tough enough? Is his body okay? And now he's on special teams. I mean, he's on first team kick. He's on first team punt. And he does appear to be kind of one of those glue guys. He's also a guy who CJ Stroud trusts a lot. And CJ Stroud, I mean, they got him in the red zone. They got him moving around. They got him in the slot a lot. I would say Brevin Jordan qualifies as one of those glue guys for sure. I would agree with that. I don't think Shaq Mason's a popular answer, and there's a big movement. Juice Scruggs talked about it today. Titus talked about it, where they don't feel Shaq gets his flowers when it comes to being an offensive lineman. Here's my thing. Shaq's paid pretty good, like they traded for him. They gave him an extension. Like, is that really like unsung hero? That I guess we can say it because he's a right guard. He's kind of sandwiched between Tunsil and Titus Howard, and those guys are very highly paid. But is Shaq really that much of an unsung hero? Jonathan says Desmond King. Des King, perhaps. I don't know what his role is on this football team, though. But I've always liked Desmond King. He brings that toughness element. He's right now probably your best return guy. So I could see that. Noah Brown, that's another one. And Noah's a tough SOB, man. And it seemed like when you needed him the most, he was there, except when he was hurt. So, I mean, that's kind of a contradictory type of statement by me, which might happen every once in a while. But yeah, Noah Brown's up there for sure. And he's a really tough, feisty guy. I would say like the glue guys on the interior, like on this squad, I think Fatukasi is going to be really, really good. I really enjoyed talking to him at the podium. I think Jalen Petrie in his current role could be a glue guy. I think Eric Murray, I talked about this earlier today. I think Eric Murray is a guy that he might be your starting safety. And I know that sounds crazy and I kind of roll my eyes at it, but Eric Murray is a big part of special teams. He's out there a hell of a lot. Like when we talk about Jalen Petrie in this new role, Eric Murray's back deep. And I don't know that that's a great thing. Maybe that means that they're more open to Simmons or whatever, but Eric Murray's back there a lot. Number 23 is back there. If you're going out to practice, look back, you see number 23. And you'll initially be like, damn, who the hell is that? He's back there. And he kind of looks the part. So I'll put Eric Murray there. I think Hanson's kind of a glue guy. They like him on special teams, so I'll put Hanson on there. I think you could say Juice Scruggs is a glue guy. He's your starting center, and there's really like no questions asked about that. You could put him on there. The D-line, we'll kind of see. We'll kind of see how that shapes up. I don't think you can say Al Shire. I mean, you can say whatever the hell you want, but I wouldn't consider under this, under these rules, I wouldn't consider Al Shire or Christian Harris as glue guys. Is Robert Woods a glue guy? Is he going to help enough this year to be a glue guy? I don't know. Does Robert Woods make the team? That's kind of a question. I would think so. Not sure. Mario Edwards. Mario Edwards is having a good camp. I made fun of Cody Stutes, but it was an astute observation by Cody when he said that, when he asked DeMeco about Mario Edwards, because Mario Edwards had a sack today on 4th and 2 amidst the slop and frustration of the offense. He was nice for sure. Yes, I did hit 10K. Thank you. 10.1 now. So let's keep that going. For sure. John Ryan is in the house. Thank you very much for scubaing over here, man. Look at that dude right there. Man, how many sharks did you see in that mug? Neville Hewitt, yeah, tackling machine, special teams guy. I could see him as a glue guy. Case Keenum, not sure how exactly that works. Maybe there's like something deep. Blake Fisher, he's definitely your swing tackle for sure. I would say that. Astute observation would be a good. This is what I do, man. This is what I do. I throw out ideas, localize it. Confessions, slime off, all that stuff. Yeah, astute's observation. He needs to write that down for sure, no doubt. Needs to get on that. Appreciate the congrats on the 10K. Let's get motivated. Let's if you got a drink, just sip up, enjoy. If you got popcorn, get your popcorn ready. It's Friday night. Who are the glue guys on this team? I think we can all agree. There's a lot of answers. All great teams. They have great players, and then they have glue guys. Seeing Brevin Jordan and how far he's come in a short time, I guess 4 years is a short time. I don't know. It kind of felt long there for a while. Pause, to quote Brevin Jordan. But let's just sit back and listen to this dude. And I got the first question in, and then I got another question in that I thought was awesome, just talking about his journey. But Brevin Jordan, man, if you want to just like feel good about yourself, like if you've had a rough day at work, and if you work a 9 to 5, Petrie could definitely be a glue guy. But if you're doing that, is Mechie a glue guy? Not yet. No, we don't even know if he's a guy. Since they don't do it on ITR anymore, we need to bring the slime off to the locker room it'll be here. Yeah, we'll get the slime off there. And honestly, they should have done it. I mean, it's not like they're going to come up with benchmarks. But here was someone says I need a CJ jersey on my wall. Nah, man. JJ gave me this. JJ wrote it. He made it out. You can kind of, I don't think you can't see it, but it's like it said to Landry, blah, blah, blah. Thanks for covering. He gave this to a lot of the media, so I don't feel too special. But here's Brevin Jordan. Your boys got the first question. And then we get some more from Brevin Jordan. He definitely held court. And I asked him about his journey, and I think that you're going to enjoy this. Sit back, relax, crisscross applesauce, pour one up. We're on 2 out of 6. Here's Brevin Jordan holding court.
Special teams, Frank brought it up the other day.
Yeah, special teams is dope, bro. I mean, you got to have a different mentality to do it. Whenever I'm on kickoff or something like that, the first thing that comes to my mind, like Spartan 300 charge type shit, you know what I'm saying? Like some crazy shit. So I enjoy kickoff. It's dope.
Shifting doing a lot on the offensive side of the ball. Are you looking forward to that this season to kind of help the offense and use your athletic ability to score the opposing defenses?
Hell yeah. I'm excited, man. Just being able to be used all over the field, kind of be a Swiss Army knife, bro. It's a great opportunity. I'm looking forward to just, stacking every day, building brick by brick, and just, going out there trying to win some games this year.
Also, what has it been like going up against Will Anderson Jr. in the near 100 practice? Because you've been doing a very good job blocking.
Yeah, it's terrible. They're big dudes like the pause, but them some large human beings. Blocking them dudes it's not fun. It's not the greatest, but bro, it's awesome to be out here competing with those guys, man. They're gonna make the games, a lot easier. So I'm grateful to be blocking them dudes every day.
DeMeco Ryans was saying the confidence he's seen from you.
Let's see if we can get this from here and get this a little bit better. I
Crazy
don't know.
shit, so I enjoy kickoff. It's dope.
That's from their FTP.
Shift and doing a lot on the offensive side of the ball. Are you looking forward to that this season to kind of pick up the offense
A lot better.
and use your athletic ability to exploit opposing defenses?
Hell yeah, but I'm excited, man. This, just being able to be used all over the field, kind of be a Swiss Army knife, bro. It's a great opportunity. I'm looking forward to just, stacking every day, building brick by brick, and just, going out there trying to win some games this year.
Also, what has it been like going up against Will Anderson Jr. in the near 100 practice? Because you've been doing a very good job blocking those.
Yeah, it's terrible. They're big dudes like the pause, but them some
He said pause.
large human beings. So blocking them dudes it's not fun. It's not the greatest, but bro, it's awesome to be out here competing with those guys, man. They're gonna make the games, a lot easier. So I'm grateful to be blocking them dudes every day.
DeMeco Ryans was saying the confidence he's seen from you. Where does that come from? You did the touchdown in the Cleveland playoff game. Did that even boost more?
Yeah, no, my confidence just comes from my faith. It comes from my teammates. It comes from, me preparing every day. When you don't prepare the right way, you go out here and you don't feel that confidence. So just me coming out here with the right mindset, preparing every day it's helped me come out here and put on a good show.
You feel like their confidence in you year by year has also changed?
Yeah, most definitely, man. I mean, when you feel the confidence from the coaches, it allows you to go out there and play fast, to play explosive, man. When you make a play, it's like that's why they call them my number. So I'm looking forward to the opportunity this year, man. I'm looking forward to just building every day, brick by brick.
Brick by brick.
Over there on the judge machine, how many casts in a row?
130.
130.
Yeah.
Is that like a daily thing you're doing?
Trying to, man. I'm trying to it was a rainy day today, so I feel like in team I didn't touch the rock like that. So just wanting to go out there, just make sure I get a feel for the ball is the main thing for my job.
I mean, talking about kickoff and everything, but you hadn't had a live rep yet.
Yeah.
Have you sort of in your mind how to play it out? How y'all gonna try to how this thing's gonna work out?
Yeah, I've had live reps on kickoff. Last year.
Yeah, he played on kickoff last year.
Format. Yeah, no, we haven't done it in live setting yet, but obviously practice out here with Coach Frank, it's the closest thing to a live setting. We're just not tackling all the way to the ground. So I'm looking forward to the new rule change, man. Hopefully we get some big explosives this year.
Talking to DeMeco, he was so of you. Matter of fact, he said there's nobody he's more proud of in the first couple weeks of training camp. Knowing the work that you put in to know that it's also being recognized by the coaches, what does that mean to you?
I mean, it's cool, but it matters on Sundays, man. Like, it's cool. It's good to get that recognition from your coach and know that you're playing well. But, man, nobody cares, man, until I go out there on Sundays and put it together and, we win some games. So that's just my main thing, stacking every day, building this foundation brick by brick.
I've seen the last couple of practices, the skirmishes going on.
Yeah.
Is everyone just kind of ready to hit another opponent besides yourselves?
Yeah, man. I think that's just a bunch of grown men with a bunch of testosterone, man. Just, guys out here just hitting, guys is competitive. It's a part of the game of football. It shouldn't be a part of the game, but practice out here, we're competing, and it is what it is,
Earlier, you talked about the way Texas is using this on the offensive side. What has been like just working with Bobby Sloan? What are some of the changes that you see going that this guy sees?
Yeah, man. I think he's made it a lot easier, actually. Like, a lot of the formations and stuff that we've had, we've kind of condensed it to one call stuff. So I think Bobby's whole thing is just get the guys in open space, get them one-on-one situations and let them go in. So I'm looking forward to the opportunity, man. It's a great offense. We got some great key pieces on our offensive side, and we can go out there and win some games this year.
CJ was obviously very confident last year. Does it seem any different this year?
It's increased, bro. It's
Increased.
That's the most confident individual in his talents, his faith, his beliefs, everything that he does. That dude is just confident as can be. Like, it's great to know when you're in that huddle, you got somebody that's that confident that they believe they're going to win the game. We're going to score right here. Like, we're going to get this first down. That confidence just resonates with everybody in the huddle, and he's a good guy.
We've talked to you 4 years now. First year kind of trying to figure it out. Second year, the audience.
It's a question about the 4 years right here that I asked him, and I thought he was really good on it. Not a surprise to anyone. It is the locker room. night stream, 6 and 60. We're going here. Someone says, get the baby on the stream. She's asleep, man. She went to sleep. She's very active today.
And then last year, you thought you were fighting for a job, and they showed belief in you. What is this camp like when you look back at those last 3 that have all been so much different?
Man, that's a great question, bro. Honestly, like I look back to my first 3 years in the league. I just turned 24, and man, I look back and I feel like I didn't know anything, bro. Like I was so young, so naive of the NFL, and I took it for granted. I took this position for granted, and now I'm just so grateful. I'm so passionate to be in the league. I'm looking forward to just going out there on Sundays, man, and performing again, because that touchdown against Cleveland, yeah, I mean, like, it was a huge play for my career. I'm tired of talking about it, man. Like, I feel like I can go out there and do it every week, week in and week out. So my main thing is just trying to stack days, day in and day out, and stack, build a solid brick foundation.
How's the relationship with the tight end group right now? What are you learning from Dalton Schultz?
Right.
And with those lessons, how are you able to give that back to K-State?
Yeah. Dalton is my dog, man. Dalton's my dog. He's a vet. He's savvy. He knows how to get open. He's teaching me. Honestly, a lot of this year, it seems like he's let me go. You know what I'm saying? Like he kind of knows that I know the system pretty well. That he's confident in me to go out there and do my job to the highest level. So I think everybody in that tight end group, we all just lean on each other. Having Cade in the room, he's a rookie. He's asking a lot of questions. He's new to the tight end position, so everybody in that room is just ultra supportive of each other, and I'm actually really glad of the room we have.
Everybody's kind of had a story so far about working with Stephon. Just for your personal experience, what's it been like having him here?
Man, that dude is insane, bro. That dude has a motor. Like, I see why he's been able to put consecutive years and years and years of 1,000 yards and being an all-pro Pro Bowl receiver, because the dude works extremely freaking hard. Like, he has a motor like no other. I remember his first day coming in the workouts. Everybody, you walk to station, everybody kind of walking around, and this dude is just bouncing around like a kid. It's to station. I'm like, how does this dude have the energy to move like this on a daily basis? How old is he? 31, 30? I'm like, bro, this dude is crazy. But Stephon is a hell of a player, man. I'm glad we got him.
When you talk about him, there's been a kind of narrative about his overall persona. Is it more so just the fact that he cares about perfection, and it's not just perfection with him, but really everybody else around him?
Yeah, definitely, man. I all that stuff on the outside noise, I don't understand how he got it, because the dude is ultra competitive. He's ultra passionate, and I feel like people on the outside might confuse his passion for aggression or him being annoyed or anything. But in reality, man, that dude talks like that in meetings. He talks like that in offensive walkthrough. He's just an ultra passionate guy about the game of football, and he's, like you said, he's damn near a perfectionist for real. Appreciate y'all.
All right, there you go. That's Brevin Jordan, man. That dude at the podium, very impressive. And the Texans FTP kind of skipping a little bit. Do we want to hear from Fatukasi or not? We've never heard from him. Do y'all want to hear from Fatukasi? One of the new guys. I mean, a lot of people a little bit like concerned that Malik Collins left. Why would DeMeco Ryans want to let Malik Collins go? Malik Collins, big, mean dude, probably beat up anyone on the team. Why would they let him go? What was that about? Why would you let him go to San Francisco? Do we want to hear from Foley Fatukasi or not? I never know. I like to play the hits. Obviously, we'll get in the sticks, pause, every once in a while. But do we want to hear from Foley Fatukasi? Yes or no? Yes or no? Looks like there's a lot of yeses. So we'll hear from Foley Fatukasi. And I actually think the question that we originally started this with on the 6 and 60 Friday night, who are the glue guys on this team? I actually think that Foley Fatukasi might end up being one of those dudes. And this dude is a confident veteran type of cat. Like you see a lot of these young bucks go up there and they got a lot of personality. They're kind of jumping off the walls. Like, they got the energy. They got, I don't want to say that they're kids, but they're kids. They're in their early 20s. CJ, Will Anderson, Tank Dell, like they're all young. Fatukasi kind of has like that veteran presence, kind of like Daniil Hunter. Like Daniil Hunter comes in here, he's got like that fatherly, I'm mentoring the kids type of presence. Same thing with Azeez Al-Shaair. He's kind of got that type of presence. Like they brought in a lot of guys that kind of counter the youth and the likability. And really, these guys are young, but they're mature as hell. They're way more mature than I was at that age. They're way more mature than I probably was at 30, if we're being honest. But Fatukasi, Azeez Al-Shaair, like some of these guys, they come in and they just kind of provide that veteran soothing presence. And the reason why I like press conferences so much is because it just kind of, first of all, it gives you like an idea of what these guys are about. You can kind of read their mindset. And if the right questions are asked and if the stuff's going on, like you can kind of get a grasp of what's going on. I've always enjoyed that. My dad kind of taught me that at an early age. So it looks like it's kind of unanimous. Let's hear from I don't think Schultz can be a glue guy. I mean, you can't make $10 million and be a glue guy, can you? I don't know about all that. But let's hear from Foley Fatukasi. You guys said that you wanted to hear from him. Let's hear from him. And I appreciate once again everyone for helping me get to 10,000 last night. We're already well into 10.1. So let's keep that going. Keep the momentum going into the season. But let's hear from Foley Fatukasi. Here's one of your newest Texans, D lineman. DeMeco Ryans likes him, and he's a pretty mature dude.
I feel like this is a place where I can really grow, become even more of a dominant player. It's a place where I can still be a student of the game, learn from the guys around me, coaches, teammates. It's a really great environment, so that's what made me come here.
Like most of the time, you're lining up with the deal off the left shoulder. What's it been like playing side?
Honestly, not even just Daniil, but all of the guys really smart players, really intuitive with their craft. So I get to learn from them, take some stuff from them that I could add to my game. So it's been really enlightening working with these guys. So it's things that I could figure out about myself, through them, things that they teach me about. So it's been pretty impactful for me.
You really asking for you.
Right now, just to be where my feet is at, my sole job is to be a contributor to the team in the sense of, doing my job, making sure that I'm one of one. So, sharpening my teammates as my teammates are sharpening me. So, and that's pretty much the biggest contribution I could give right now.
Dude, he's a big ass dude. Not only is Fatukasi a big ass dude, like Settle too, like Tim Settle, Khalil Davis, Heinisch even. It is there is a lot going on with the D lineman, but Fatukasi for sure.
Taking it one day at a time.
You talk about iron sharpens iron, and you get to go up against this offense. What are some things that you notice about them, and how do they make you guys better?
All the offense, obviously, these are the guys that you go up against every single day. I think the greatest thing that they do is they make me become a better player because they see what I do on a day-to-day basis, and they make me sharpen myself. So my only hope is that as they're sharpening me, they feel like I'm sharpening them. So it's been pretty good, been pretty competitive, and really been growing.
When you were going through the free agency process, were there things that stood out about DeMeco's defense that you really liked?
He's 6'4", 318. Someone said, how tall is he? He's 6'4". He's 2 inches shorter than me. I think I could take him. Just kidding.
I played in this defense before, with New York. But one thing that really stood out to me the most was I felt like this was a place I could come to and really keep ascending as a player and really keep growing. Coach DeMeco and all of the coaching staff and everybody, from top to bottom, really promotes the idea and the ideology of growth. So it's something that I felt like I really needed. If you want to continue to ascend as a player, that's the environment that you want to be around, and that's what I'm really happy about. Right.
Yesterday, the other day, was mentioned about
I think he gets confused here.
He said, "Hey, go." He said, "Don't even snap the ball, y'all. We want y'all firing off and with just total intensity." How does that not having to hit, read, y'all get you snap the ball, you just go on?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat your question?
Yeah. Coach Wright the other day was talking about what was the expectation from the defensive tackle, and the bottom line, he said, "I want to snap the ball. I want to just moving with total intensity."
Yeah, that's the DNA of any D lineman across the league. But particularly about us, our job on the interior guys is to be the aggressive, to be the aggressor, to be the dominant person, to get off the ball, shoot your hands with intent. So those are the things that we try to craft and sharpen each day. So. And, day to day, Rome wasn't built in a day. So we'll continue to grow in that matter.
What's the balance it's like for a D lineman, where DeMeco's kind of talked about it. A lot of times fans and media will look in the box score and say, this guy had 1.5 sacks, he had a good game, but he's rushing upfield. What's the balance like, staying in your gap, discipline, maybe like staying in your
Listen, is it a challenge? I think the more important thing is, are you doing your job? Are you contributing to the team that you're not hurting your team, right? And are you bringing out the best version of yourself on a day-to-day basis? So do stats matter? Yeah, of course they do. But at the end of the day, can we turn on the film and say that, this guy's doing what he needs to do? So I think that's the most important part about this game, and being an interior guy is, just being not being selfish, I'm saying? Selfish in a way that's detrimental to the team, that's detrimental to your brothers, but being also effective in your job in the way that you're supposed to do things.
You see that Juice so far?
I like this guy,
interior offensive linemen.
I'm sorry?
What do you see out of Juice so far and some of those other interior offensive linemen?
Strong, smart. So as I said earlier, I hope that I'm sharpening them the way that they're sharpening me. I believe it's allowing me to continue to grow as a player and to dig a little deeper into what I need to become a better player.
Man.
So they're very strong, very smart. And if you take a good look at, like right now, they're always crafting something to do better. They're always talking about, how to make a block better in a certain way. So I'm learning a lot from them.
Thank you.
There you go, man. Appreciate you, class. I'm a fan of his. So here's my thing, like with the D lineman, and I know like it was kind of a polarizing topic. Like some people thought, are the Texans going to take a D lineman in the draft? And I'm not like knocking anyone for believing that. And who knows? Like, had there been one of the top D linemen there when their number came up, maybe they would have. But my thing is this: like, we always hear, can a D line make a secondary better? And can the secondary make the D line better? And I think both can be true. I think they can both work off of each other. But I think if you have Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson on the edge, I think it makes a D lineman's job a lot easier. I really, really do. I'm not saying that means you neglect the position. I'm not saying that means you just got to ignore it. But I just don't. I find it hard to believe that this isn't an ideal situation, because there's two things that I believe are elite on this Texans team. There's two things. And I'm not even going to say CJ yet. I think CJ has the tools, and I think CJ is eventually going to get there. But I'm saying, like, right now, there are two things on this team that I believe are elite. And that is the receivers 1 through 3, the receiving core, and the edge guys. I think that's elite. I think it's already there. I don't think it's trying to get there. I think it's already there. And I don't even think Will Anderson has began to touch what his full potential is. He's put on the 15 pounds. He's coming off being defensive rookie of the year. He was banged up last year. He was hurt. He was extremely hurt. He didn't have as much help. And I think that the D-line is already elite. So I think it makes the interior or the edge guys are elite. I think it makes the interior a little bit better. Appreciate everyone for coming through. We're still rolling. We'll hear from Juice Scruggs in a sec. Be sure to subscribe, like, right along. I continue to thank you because I very much appreciate it. Thanks for getting me to 10K. Thanks for getting me to 10.1K the very next day. It is the number one source for Texans digital content. No time off, multiple streams, multiple videos, always at practice, top in the radio game the last few years. I got you covered. We got you covered. We're in this together, and I very much appreciate y'all. The community is growing, and it will remain authentic. It will remain credible, and there will be no sacrifices made to telling the truth about this team, talking about the main talking points about this team, and informing and entertaining, not just trying to keep people fooled. Not really my style. So I appreciate y'all for coming through. CJ Stroud rallied the troops at practice. If you missed that video, go back and look at that. Appreciate everyone for rolling through. Mr. 915G Rex. What's up, man? Man, that's someone you don't want to mess with right there, Mr. 915G Rex. What is your drink of choice? I'm gonna try to guess this. You might not drink, so I'm not gonna judge you, but I'm just gonna look at your picture and I'm gonna say this right now. What my man drinks. And I don't want you to hit me with the RC, okay? I'm just trying to guess.
Race car.
Tell me your drink of choice. I'm gonna guess that you are a Coors Light guy. That's a Coors Light guy if I've ever seen one right there. He's gonna say like Michelob Ultra. Yeah, someone says this guy Landry is the go-to for your Texas news. He's almost as good as Cody. Yeah, I think Cody's just as good. Cody's the best as far as written word. He is 100% the best. You're a tequila guy, John Ryan. That doesn't really surprise me. Tank Dell's not a glue guy. Tank Dell's a star. There's a difference between a glue guy and a star. No doubt. But Mr. 915G Rex still hasn't told me. I wasn't trying to scare you away, my friend. Someone says Medell.
Race car.
No. Oh, okay, dude. This is a legend right here. My man, Mr. J. This is a legend right here. I still drink Mickey's. That is a hard O right there. The Mickey's. Did anyone ever have like a Mickey's 40 party? Edward 40 hands where they I'm acting really extra token white boy fratty tonight. But did you ever have like an Edward 40 hands party where have the two 40s on your hands and they tape them? Is that just a white boy thing? I mean, Mr. G5 Rex is like, I got two in my hand right now. For sure. I got two on my hands. Yeah, Cody Stutes is the man all the time back in the day. There you go. Shout out to Mr. G5 Rex. Edward 40 hands were every Tuesday. No doubt. Remember when the Four Locos first came out too? Ooh-wee. Those were nice. A couple more comments before we hear from Juice Scruggs. I think we're on beer. 4 out of 6. We got 47 left, so got to figure it out. LL says I think I could take him talking about Fatukasi. I was definitely kidding. Definitely kidding. Change the subject for a second. I still think JJ will be on the team this year. I don't want to dismiss it. I don't know. I talked about this today. I went on Ultimate Fans podcast, the dude with the face paint. And we kind of talked about it. And I just like, why are you squatting 900 pounds? Like, what is that about? Like, you're not doing that to hold your golden retriever and your baby. I mean, there's got to be a reason for that. Jim says Bush Light. I don't know about that. Did Sting eventually apologize to Schultz? No idea. We haven't had Schultz at the podium yet. To me, JJ would be a distraction. That's interesting. Mick's always got the hot takes. I like them. Would JJ be a distraction? What does he want his role to be would be my thing. Because when you tell me JJ Watt's going to be on this team, for me, it's JJ Watt. Like, remember when Will Anderson against the Titans, when Will Anderson was coming off the injury and he had like 2 sacks at the end of the first half and kind of prevented Tennessee from scoring. And I think he only played like 12 or 14 snaps in that game. Like, that's the role I would envision JJ being. Like, is JJ going to come here and try to be like a 80% of the snap guy? I think that would be, I mean, I don't think he's the same JJ. So I think that would be kind of interesting. is JJ. Some people said that JJ freelanced. It almost feels like that was an opinion, and then people just kind of adopted it and decided to say it as well, as if it was a bad thing. I'm not saying it was false. I just feel like it kind of got ran with a little bit too much. But I don't know that JJ would be a distraction or not. He could be kind of a decent like boost. But here's my thing with JJ. I don't think that, despite the fact he's great, and despite the fact JJ Watt's awesome, and despite the fact that we all love JJ Watt, like, I don't think JJ Watt's coming here and being like some sort of like OG. I mean, this core has been as far in the playoffs as JJ Watt has. It's the harsh reality. And they've kind of built a lot of excitement, and they've built a hell of a buzz. So do I think JJ would be some sort of distraction? Probably not, but I don't think he's coming here and it's like he's calling the shots. I also don't think he's coming here and saying, I want to play all of these. I want to play like a large percentage of the snaps. So I think it would be a boost. I still think he can play. I still think it's a possibility, but I don't think it's crazy to throw that out there. I know there's probably like some Houston fans about, how could you say that about JJ? I think it's fair. I think it's fair to ask. Like JJ, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, like when you say distraction, like is Will Anderson with the way in which he's kind of like the culture guy, and he's the guy that goes up to the podium and says, you know, being a Texan is not for everyone, and this is our culture, and everyone's following Will Anderson, and everyone's gravitating to Will Anderson. Does he kind of take a step back and let JJ Watt be the voice just out of respect? Like, naturally, I might. You know, Will Anderson's 22 years old, 23 years old. He's not like he's aggressive, but he's not overly aggressive. But if JJ Watt, a future Hall of Famer, comes in here, who's basically the king of Houston, does that kind of kill the momentum of Will Anderson and CJ Stroud and Tank Dell and Nico Collins and some of these young guys being the voice of things and being the long-term and short-term direction of things want to go? I think that's a fair question to ask. Now, here would be the other thing, though, about it. And I appreciate you for bringing this comment. This is why I like the comments, and this is why I appreciate all y'all for getting me to 10K, because this is an interactive type of joint, especially the night show. The post-practice is there. But here's the one thing, and this is where, when the Texans traded for Stephon Diggs, I kind of rolled my eyes at the notion that he was going to tear up the locker room. We got to look at the head coach. The head coach is DeMeco Ryans. And I think, as much as we like these players, I think DeMeco Ryans is the most important piece of this squad. And I think that the culture is created by DeMeco Ryans, and I don't think anyone's going to come in here and like ruin his locker room. It's actually kind of nuts, like what DeMeco is. It's really like, it's kind of surreal, because I've never seen anything like it. And I've told this story a few times, but and he's gonna join me on the stream. He's out of town until Canton, and the power outage kind of ruined our plans a little bit. But Wade Smith is going to join me, and he was a teammate of DeMeco Ryans. But I was hosting with Wade the day that DeMeco was going to get introduced. And Smitty's my boy. And Smitty said to me, he said, dude, I know you're the podium critic. I know you like press conferences. I'm telling you, this one's going to knock your socks off. And I was just kind of like, okay, I mean, what does that mean? Like, what are you even saying? I remember he was sitting to my right. I was like, what does that mean? He's like, oh, you'll see. I was like, I'll see. Okay. Like, what is it? He's like, you'll just see. It's really natural. And it's just like nothing you've ever seen. We went there. And you kind of saw it because it would have been a perfect press conference without all the nostalgia, without all the history and all that. And I watched it and I was just kind of mesmerized. And then if you watch DeMeco Ryans throughout the course of the season, like it's kind of the same thing. And I don't think I offended him. I was just kind of throwing out words in the middle of questions, but I asked him this year about going to Philadelphia, and I said, yeah, and when you went there, you were kind of a leader. And he said, well, I wasn't kind of a leader. It's just what he does. So I don't know that distractions really exist when it comes to DeMeco Ryans. 713 Sports says he's here. Shout out to 713 Sports. We are here. But yeah, I don't think you can ruin DeMeco Ryans locker room. I don't think it's possible. I really don't. Like, and that's exciting because and quite frankly, I don't know that you could ruin CJ Stroud and Will Anderson's locker room. Like, I think beneath the DeMeco, like if DeMeco never even tried to intervene with this core of players, I don't think that this locker room gets ruined because I think CJ is just as special when it comes to leadership. I think Will Anderson is just as special. And I don't know if it's contagious or not. I'm going to do a video on this, but there's a lot of spirituality on this Texans team that I think is crazy. And by crazy, I think it's cool. I think it's really, really cool. Ruben, do you want to come in the chat or not? I know you were watching like comic book movies the other day. I would invite you, but you might be trading magic cards right now for all I know. I'm surprised you're awake, by the way. Crazy dude. But I'll send you the invite if you want to get in, Ruben. Just send it in your DMs on Twitter if you want to come through. But yeah, I don't think that DeMeco can I don't think that DeMeco's locker room could get ruined. Just send Ruben an invite. I don't know what he's up to. Who the hell knows? With him, he's been like at every practice, and he gets there at like 4 a.m. with like rain and stuff. Like let's look at this. Look at this nut job. I love Ruben. We've had him in studio a couple of times, and I know I think he's 11K deep on the subscribers. He's been doing it for a while though. But let's see. Let's look at old Ruben's look at this dude right here. Hold on. Let me just go through some. I'll pull this up real quick. I invite him. He's probably who knows what he's doing. Pause. Yeah, pause for sure. No doubt. But look at this dude's look at this dude's activities earlier today. Look at this. All right, we got this up. Yeah. So this was at 6. This was at 6 a.m. This dude's like just taking videos. 6 a.m.
I feel you. It's all good, bro.
Look at this, bro. This is practice, man. We're talking about practice.
I feel you.
He's saying, I feel you. Okay. Yeah, gotcha. So there's that. Then him and Harley are taking a selfie. I don't know about that one. What are we doing here? We don't need that. You ignore that. And then we have this. This is in the rain. Look at this dude. I mean, it's pouring, man. What are we doing here? I don't know if Ruben's going to roll through or not. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to practice tomorrow or not. Look at this dude. It's a lot, man. Yeah, the tailgates are going to be lit. We're 60 in. We're good. We'll go. We'll go till 6 get done. We also got to hear from Juice Scruggs for sure. Let's actually hear from Juice right here. Juice Scruggs, center for your Houston Texans. I started this off by asking him about just the difference. Last year, Juice Scruggs, he was likely going to be your starting center. Well, what happened was, what happened was he got hurt. Then he got moved to guard. And then he just got kind of thrust into that role. Now he's the center. There's no center competition. There's no Jared Patterson, anything like that. He is your starting center. Here is Juice Scruggs talking about that and what the journalists look at that game face right there.
On the center. What has it been like this offseason compared to last?
Definitely a lot different, for sure. Just last year dealing with the combine, pro day, and all that good stuff. It's definitely been a lot different. I've been able to focus just on football. And like you said, even now, I can just focus on center. So it's been very good, just coming in, honing on that, and just knowing that it wasn't like last year for sure.
Kind of like riding the bike for you? Or
Yeah.
Going back to the basics time?
Yeah, definitely had to go back to the basics, just start all over. And now just picking up on little things that I wasn't seeing last year and just getting better each day.
You mentioned last year that Kelsey, you were looking at in the league, Travis. All right, Jason's gone now. So how does that what he's left behind for you to move forward to? How does you feel now that you know, hey, okay, I can start establishing he's gone and I can create that image for myself?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely never thought about it like that. Shout out to Jason Kelsey. I believe probably the best center.
I would hope not, man.
But I'm just coming in trying to be Juice Scruggs, trying to be the best Juice Scruggs I can be, and just trying to make a name for myself.
Damn, third person?
Yeah, man, Juice Scruggs.
A humble third person.
DeMeco Ryans in the offseason. How has that competition been practice? Whenever you guys get an opportunity to talk on the sideline to help you get to the best version of yourself that you can be.
Yeah, no, DeMeco, good player, very good player, great pass rusher. We played against him twice last year, and I was matched up against him at left guard, so we had some good battles for sure. And just learning from him, just talking to him about like what he saw I was doing last year compared to this year, and just how I can get better, like what he sees when he's coming in from a 3-tech at the center, and just picking his brain because he's been in the league, I think, 10-11 years, so he's seen everything. So just picking his brain and seeing what he sees when I said at him.
What about the important relationships for an offense between center and quarterback? Throughout the offseason, can you just talk about what you and CJ have been going through and how you built that relationship, especially where last year you didn't have that sort of play out?
Right. Yeah, we were building on that last year for sure, and it got interrupted by my injury. But even just me coming back at left guard, we still were establishing that relationship and just going in to this offseason during OTAs. We just started clicking, just trying to knock the rust off and trying to get that chemistry back down. And that's what training camp's for us to get established and for me and him to be on the same page. And we're getting there for sure.
Is there something that stands out to you most about CJ?
Say that again?
Is there something that stands out most to you about CJ?
I would say this year just him being more vocal. Not saying that he wasn't vocal last year, but he's just taking it in from the start, like being the leader and being that vocal guy. And that's something we need from him for sure.
What's up, class?
Instead of yelling, just every play starts with you.
Yeah. I just say just being the leader. of the O-line, just getting everybody on the same page, making the calls, and just being in the center is just something about it. I'll play any position, anywhere the team needs you, but definitely center is what I prefer for sure.
It's going to be like hopefully having that right side. Shaq, obviously, he played a ton last year.
Right.
Titus back in his natural
Let me show my football knowledge.
position he wants to play. What's it going to be like for you having those two guys on the right side and not really worried about it?
Yeah, definitely great. Just seeing Titus, what he went through last year, all the adversity he dealt with, it's good to see him back out here, and he's looking pretty good to come off the injury like that. And Shaq, you know what he does. Probably the most underrated offensive lineman.
I love Shaq, man.
I don't know when they're gonna start giving him his credit, but I think he deserves a lot more credit than he gets for sure.
Could you explain to fans what your intentions are when this particular scheme is run?
All right, we don't need to go there. What? Can you explain to fans about run blocking, please? Please. I think we got Ruben in here. We'll get there in a sec. But I the question of the day was this: Stutz is the GOAT. I agree. He's the GOAT for sure. That's my dog right there. That's my boy. We're 4 deep. We got 2 more to go. So we're going overtime on the 60. Man, I usually go lighter. So I went on that podcast and then I got some Truth Barbecue. I waited an hour in line for Truth Barbecue. It's good, man. It's really, really good. I really, really very much enjoy it. For sure. So let's get to damn, Miguel. No comment. Yeah, Truth is legit, dude. I got the little sampler pattern. It went in. Let's look at the question of the day though. Let's go back to it. And again, got to reset. This is my reset. You got to reset in radio. Not everyone does it. Not everyone cross teases. Not everyone vertical teases. But you got to reset in radio. You know what I'm saying? So some people don't have fundamentals. They just try to keep them fooled. Keep them fooled. Longevity, lying longevity. But nah. Thanks for helping me get to 10K. Subscribe, right along. The question that I had was, who are the glue guys on this team? I asked it on X, so it's only fair if I read the responses. And if you're muted, man, don't take it personal. I'm just going to scroll through it. I'm not going to so I made the mistake reading this sometimes where I muted this dude and then I clicked on it and then all of a sudden dude's like, why'd you mute me? I don't know, man. I have no idea. You might have been talking politics or something like that. I have no idea. So I asked the question. We know who the stars are. Who are the glue guys? Texans Cap said Brevin Jordan. Cole Thompson said Shaq. Beltway Boys. By the way, if y'all don't follow Beltway Boys, please do. If you're on X, follow Beltway Boys. My boy Walker. Love Walker, man. And I think he's one of the best follows that does not get the credit he deserves when it comes to Houston sports. Rockets, Texans, 100% Beltway Boys. He says Petrie. Bray 2526 says Shaq Mason. Mateo Moro says Christian Harris. Is Christian Harris a glue guy? We're waiting for him to break out. I've heard the name Fred Warner mentioned. Shaq Mason, another thing from LR Sumo. Dante at Heckler Hebrew says Daria Gumbawale. Dude, please don't say that. I like Daria Gumbawale. I'm just tired of him being in the backfield at running back. Someone says Al Shire. I don't think he qualifies. Desmond King, Dare, Christian Harris from JTB 012. Hey, M_709_J says Eric Murray, LOL. No, don't laugh. I said the same damn thing. Al Shire, don't think he qualifies. Appreciate you, though, Christopher, for hopping in. Carlos, a lot of numbers. Jacob Phillips and Damian Pierce. I don't know if Jacob Phillips qualifies yet. I don't even know if he makes the squad. Et Fond of Hughes Sports says Mason, Jordan, Keenum on offense. How does Keenum qualify? Again, I'm not counting Shaq. And then Al Shire and Jimmy Ward. I don't know if Jimmy even qualifies. Jimmy just needs to stay healthy. And then someone says Weeks. Shout out to Weeksy. That's my dog. Someone says Noah Brown, Texan Loyals. OMB B_Jefferson says Woods. I'll agree if he makes the team. TXTSR says maybe Shaq Mason, Noah Brown, Jalen Petrie, Harris. Appreciate everyone for coming through. John_Mark_book says Jared Patterson. I don't even know if he's going to be on the field. Scruggs, I would agree with that. Green, we'll see. I like this answer right here from B Golden 1970. I'm trying to make sure I get them all in. MJ Stewart, agree they love him. Des King, feisty. Mario Edwards, he looks good. Eric Murray, boom. Bobby Trees, maybe Mechie Hutch, not Hutch. I don't think Hutch makes the team. Hutch is getting cut. Spoiler alert, Xavier Hutchinson's getting cut. It's just a matter if anyone picks him up or not. For sure. But you're definitely talking about that. You're in the right track. At Tex ZYN says Shaw. And then this dude, Texans going up, decides to tag tag Desmond King. Okay, good for you, man. Hopefully you got a like or something like that. Don't think so. Anyway, Mr. 713.
What's going on? What's going on, man? Dude, I'm happy. I'm happy to be here. Trying to be like you when I grow up.
So are you going to practice tomorrow?
Man, I will be at every single practice that is available to the public.
Bro, when did you sleep? What time did you go watch that comic book movie last night?
Okay, so Deadpool started around 10:45. It ended around 1:20. But if you're a Marvel fan, you know you got to stay after for the credit scene.
Oh, God.
I didn't get home till about 2:00, man. And literally, I put mine in my
for the credits to get there.
Dude, it takes about 15 minutes, dude, because they got to think every single person, right? They got to think the backups of the backups, the makeup artist, the dude who brought toothpicks one day. They got to think everybody.
So this is like an interesting story, and we appreciate everyone for coming through. Shout out to everyone that follows Ruben. Ruben's one of my heroes.
You're my hero, bro.
Yeah, you're my hero, my friend. What are you drinking? Twisted tea?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Shout out to the teas.
I see you. Okay. So Ruben is one of my he's one of my favorite people, for sure. But I went to I liked X-Men like in 5th grade, back when there were cards. This was before you were even born. And I just stopped liking comic book stuff. And I tried to get into it. And one time, this was me and Stutes. This was probably
shout out to Stutes.
This was probably 12 years ago, 13 maybe even. I don't know. This was a while ago. We've known each other for a minute because he was a freshman in college when I had a show at the radio station. And he came up there as kind of an intern. But Stutes and me went. He's like, man, I got to go see this X-Men movie. I don't remember which one it was. And he was like, dude, you got to have an open mind. You got to go watch this X-Men movie. You got to check it out or whatever, like Marvel. I was like, all right, dude. I was like, I don't want to ruin your effing experience though. I'm not trying, I'm not trying to hate on your experience, because as much as I don't really watch it, I'm not trying to crap on your experience and make it crazy for you. So we went to the movies and we sat there, and 6 minutes in, I was just hating. I was like, man,
you didn't get hype at all?
Hell no. 6 minutes I left. And
what did you grow up with?
I went to an Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore movie, and I went to a different movie and watched it.
Oh my God.
And I just,
you're one of those.
My movie ended 20 minutes before. And as soon as I saw that movie end, I went in there and the credits were rolling. And I was sitting at the bottom and Stutes was up top. And I was like, man, let's go. And all the effing Marvel folks are looking at me being like, the hell is wrong with you? And I was like, what are we doing? And then I saw some preview or something like that.
Dude, it's criminal to leave a Marvel movie after it ends. I mean, this started all the way back in Iron Man 1, which was in 2008. So if you leave when the movie ends, then you're just not living up to it, man. But listen, Landry, you need to expand your horizon. You need to.
No, I've been
you
told
know,
that. I've been told that, but you're kind of like it's not. I just can't get into. I can't get into
I feel
action,
you.
dude. Like I watch cheesy ass reality TV. I watch sports, man. Like sports.
You like Love Island?
Oh, of course, Love
Dude,
Island.
I just got into it. Like my sisters got me into it. So we're watching Love Island USA, and dude, it's insane. Like I'm looking at these people, like bro, like you're sick for living like this, right? You got to buy like it's insane, bro. Like the drama's crazy. Even the Britain version, like they've showed me clips from it. It's insane.
Yeah, it's nuts. So what's the time? Because people ask me, they're like, when should I show up to practice? And I had someone email me the other day, and they were like, hey, what time should I show up? Where should I be for like autographs and stuff like that? And I'm like, look, autographs, like I can like I used to be able to get autographs with the best of them, bro. Like I got thousands like right here on my feet right now.
Yeah.
Just from like getting it, like hustling and stuff. So I don't think there's like a right place for autographs, but like are people really showing up at like 3 a.m.? Like that's the word on the streets.
Yeah, so yesterday I got there around 4:45, and there was about 15 people in front of me. And the guys who I talked to, they come from out of town. So they wake up at 2:30 in the morning, and they make the trip all the way to NRG. But yeah, they show up as early as that. What's interesting though is no one really shows up and packs out the line until like 6 o'clock, 6:30. So if you don't want to get there at 4 or 5, that's okay. But you need to get there between 6 and 6:30, because if not,
6 and 6:30 is what I should say. Like,
it's peak.
Like,
it's
damn,
peak,
dude.
Yeah,
Ain't that crazy though? Remember when you couldn't even give away tickets?
Dude.
Like 2 years ago, I gave away 1,000 tickets because people would listen and they would say, I'm not going. And I would just like transfer. It was kind of a pain in the ass. So I was having to like transfer because people were getting to go for the first time. And now all of a sudden we're here and like training camp tickets are selling out. And you're talking about getting there 2.5 hours early for practice.
Dude, in Lovie Smith's, because I've been at the last 5 years of every training camp practice. Lovie Smith, you could get there 10 minutes late and still have the best seat in the house. It was even worse with David Culley. I remember I had a whole section just to myself. And, you could see that the love of the Houston Texans was not, with this city. And, then DeMeco happened and CJ happened and Will. And when I went to the first ever training camp practice that was available to the public, Landry, we sang DeMeco Ryans' happy birthday. And right there, that told me this Houston Texans team is different. They are going to be different. DeMeco Ryans flashed that big old smile, the widest smile I've ever seen. Then you see CJ Stroud walk down the stairs, and then everyone just gets quiet and is in awe, like this is our next franchise quarterback. And for a lot of people, that day one of seeing our players walk down the field with DeMeco and CJ, that for them was the defining moment of this is not the same old Houston Texans anymore.
Someone asked, tell the people what your channel name is.
Yeah, so 713 Houston Sportcast. We're trying to get to 13,000 subscribers by week 1. I'm going to keep on working there, man, trying to, I'm not like you, bro, blowing up in 1 year, but man, you're doing a fantastic job. Shout out to 1K. For everyone who doesn't know, Landry Locker, I do consider him one of my mentors. I ask him questions so many times. He's going to deny it. He's going to act humble. But I'm going to give him his flowers and say, Landry, appreciate it, bro. Like, you mean a lot to someone who is not in any type of college with this stuff, bro. Someone who just grew up loving this team, loving the radio station. And you're helping us out, man. It's not just me. It's Landry. It's the Brown Chubby Bear. It's everyone, bro. Shout out to you, man. You really give us an opportunity to talk our stuff and, be heard, man. So shout out to you, Landry. You absolutely deserve this 10K, brother.
Yeah, man. I'm just I just kind of like the new vibe of like where digital is going. And,
oh, dude. Pat McAfee's changing the game.
Yeah, I think he's changing it. I think that
Buzzing with the Boys is changing the game.
Man, yeah, they were there today. It was kind of funny. Lawan was kind of pissed because he was like, man, I don't think he follows the league as close, but he was like, man, number 0 is the most swagged out player I've ever seen. And then Compton said, hey, that's Azeez Al-Shaair, former Titan. And he was like, oh, yeah. he was kind of like a little bit disappointed in that. But yeah, I feel like I'm creating a new role. So this is something I was talking to Stutes about this, and the digital game is sick because it's like a lot of fans, and I've never frowned upon fans because I think a lot of fans know more than a lot of
for
media
sure.
types. Like especially media types just like show up whenever they want to show up, and they just linger around for like 40 years or 35, whatever.
Any fan in Houston could go up with someone from ESPN and go toe to toe with them about Houston sports, man.
Yeah, or someone that's been like lingering at 6'10" for a long time. But yeah, that'll happen for sure. But I just think that it's like really, really impressive, like that there's that. And then I think like as far as like going to every practice and stuff, I think I'm calling myself and Cody Stutes like digital beat reporters. I feel like that's a good title. I don't think it exists. And I feel like it's kind of awkward because McLean and all them, like it's print and it's different. And I think Stutes is doing a good job of print, but I think digital beat reporter is the new thing.
Stutes might be the next up in what he does because, I mean, he's on it. He's there every single day. He's someone that invited me to the studio, all the way back in 2016. And to see what he's doing now is fantastic. But yeah, I mean, like you see people really care about this team and people want to hear someone who also cares about this team. When they see you, when they see Landry, when they see all these other media people be there at practice every day, that's who they tune into, right? They don't tune into Scheffner or ESPN. They tune into the locker room. They tune into Cody Stutes and Seth Spain channel because, your guys are there every single day. And I was talking to Harley about this. Shout out to the lead_Houston. I was like, this is where sports media is going to, fans who actually understand what's going on with the team. We're not calling people first rounders when they're fifth rounders. We're not creating up false storylines. We're here every single day, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I'm not. Landry Locker is, Cody Stutes is, and we're just blessed to be able to see what they got.
And I think it's just kind of interesting because I kind of look at it as I won't pull back the curtain too much, but like back in the day, like the Houston Chronicle was looked at as, hey, this is the go-to. Like this is like locally, like you need local media. This is the go-to, and you gotta figure this out. Print's dead. Like I'm not. I mean, like it's there's certain elements like the Athletic and stuff like that, but like the days of like, hey, this is going in the newspaper. It's kind of interesting. So if the Texans are going digital and you see them and you see what they're doing, like I mean, They're sending CJ Stroud on McAfee. They're sending Nick Caserio on McAfee. They're sending all that. Then if you need like local digital, where are you going? Like
Exactly.
if you need local boots on the ground and local digital, where the hell are you going? I mean, I'm not trying to turn this into an infomercial.
No, I feel you. I feel you.
And also like you don't just like get trained to, hey, I gotta listen to this because if you want to listen to 713, if you want to listen to Harley, if you want to listen to like whoever the hell else is like talking about it, like there's enough information to where you can consume it and it's like authentic,
Dude, I've been like, I remember when I was made fun of for repping the Houston Texans. It was the same way I was made fun of for repping the Astros and so on and so forth. I've been with this team at the bottom of the bottom. Dude, I've been doing videos for about 5 years. And for 4 out of the 5 years, it's been majority of losing. It's been talking about this team blowing games, blowing the big moments, making horrendous trades. But this is who I watch every single day. And going back to what you said, man, local news, guys who actually give a F about this team, right? Or what other fans care about. I don't want to go listen to Stephen A. Smith talk about the Houston Texans. I don't want to go listen to Nick Wright talk about the Houston Texans. I'd rather listen to Landry Locker, Cody Stutes, Harley Dugan, Ruben, and because they're from, they're there. They're every single day.
I think you got to kind of weed out like guys who are just here. You got to weed out guys who are not really like about it and not really following it, and they're not putting what they have into it and like sacrifice. Like, look, I feel like I got Jack Easterby fired. Like, and I'm not just like making that up. Like, Seriously. I really, really believe that. And I was working at the flagship when that happened. Like when I was working at the flagship, like I was calling Bill O'Brien a football idiot. I was talking about Jack Easterby. If they weren't good, I was saying they weren't good. Like I'm not trying to be friends with players, but I'm trying to be respected by players. So I think like there's like a limited group of people that don't sacrifice the credibility and keep the stuff up. So like there is local stuff, but like it's got to be you've got to maintain your credibility and you've got to do that. And then people who don't have like journalistic backgrounds, like you got to not like roll your eyes at the fans, because the fans like I'll say this, like you're sitting there and your socks are wet from what time did you get there?
Dude, I got like I said, so I got there at 4:45. I got in line around 5.
Right now. Go get those shoes. Go get those shoes you wore. Where they at?
Dude, I mean, I was wearing Crocs, but I could get you the shorts.
Yeah, where they at? Where they at?
Okay, hold on. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go get those shoes.
I'll get you the
and I want you to take a whiff of them and tell me how them hoes smell.
I'm not gonna take a whiff, dog. But
nah, you gotta take a whiff, bro. I'm trying to make a point.
I gotta find the shorts if they're not in the washer.
Nah, you gotta take a whiff. You gotta take a whiff. Yeah, Seth Payne is a beast. Seth Payne is that dude. 100%. Yeah, Seth Payne, my guy. Didn't always get around along at 6'10". That was just kind of like me being a hardo and him being a hardo. But yeah, Seth Payne, that dude. He's definitely got to take a whiff at this.
Nah, they're in the washer, bro. I got to be there tomorrow at 3 o'clock in the damn morning. They're in the washer, bro. I got to be there at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Man, take a whiff of the kicks,
dude,
man.
Listen, I'm gonna show you the picture of.
No, I don't want a picture. I want you to take a whiff of the kicks.
How wet me and Harley were. Like it was that bad out there.
Bro,
like,
that is one of the. I wish I could dump that.
It looked like I jumped in the pool.
You and Harley were wet. Like what?
Yeah,
what
pause. No
like,
Diddy.
Crazy.
Dude, I'm sorry about, but that's just the reality. What it was. And shout out to the fans who came out and gave us a poncho. Like when I saw it was raining today, I did what every person did, and I was like, it's not gonna rain today.
So here's my thing. And you weren't. I don't know if you were here, but Mr. 915 G-Rex, you know what his drink of choice is?
What is it?
Guess it. Just looking at his picture, because I guessed wrong.
So that's my guy. It looks like he's my
you
people.
know him.
Is it wrong to say Modelo?
Race
Nope.
What
my man is drinking Mickey's, bro.
Michelob Ultra? I mean, that would have been my second choice.
No. Mickey's 40s.
Oh, what?
Mickey's.
The one with the plastic cap?
Mickey's.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But my whole point of
you're a true drinker if you drink alcohol with the plastic cap on.
My whole point of the sniffing shoes is like there's like a guy who's willing to like have stinky ass feet and like sit out there in the rain just to watch a practice versus someone who like shows up like 10 minutes before their show. Like there's a big balance before that. So that's kind of just where you I
just remember where we were 2 years ago, Landry. Like, I just remember 7 combined wins in 3 years. I remember being the laughingstock of the league. I remember
getting through the mud, though, man. That was getting through the mud. Process over result,
bro.
You heard Casario, bro.
It was tough, man. So now that we're in this situation, I'm popping my collar. I'm talking my stuff. And, we're H-Town till we drown over here. Literally, bro. It's been raining every single training camp practice that's been open to the public.
Yeah, tomorrow might be interesting.
And I got to do it all over again tomorrow, bro. In just a couple of hours, I got to be at NRG.
Who you going with?
I got to pick up my boy Annie. So I'm picking him up at 4 in the morning, and we're going to try to be at the gates. So you get to the gates, and the gates don't open till 5. But if you get there at 5, there's about 20 cars deep just waiting to get in. Then once they open the gates, everyone races to that one, to the entrance of the first line you got to go to, because there's 2 lines at Houston, Texas training camp. So it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow. But this whole week, man, I've probably got less than 10 hours of sleep, but I would do it all over again because this is the team I live and die for, brother.
Yeah, you've been doing it for, you've been doing the YouTube. When did your YouTube start? It was when they started.
When I started when Laramie Tunsil got traded to the Texans.
19.
Yes, so that's when I started, and
You started
then,
the YouTube, but you've been listening for a minute.
dude, I remember your first show. I remember when
which one with Mike and Seth?
I remember you
2016?
like dude. The first station that I ever listened to was 610 when I was about 9 years old, and Mark Vandermeer was still on the station talking Rockets, Texans, and Astros. That's how far back. Then I remember Nick Wright coming in. Then I remember you coming in, Landry, after I think Fred Davis. And bro, you just took off, dude.
Oh
You
yeah,
just
yeah,
took
because I was
off.
with Mike and Seth, and then I was with Freddie. Yeah, it was.
And I told my pops, I was like, hey, listen to this dude on the radio. Let me know what you think. And he was like, he sounds young, but he sounds like, he knows what he's talking about. And hey, dude, here we are.
That's what I'm
Fucking 4
talking about,
years
man.
later.
I've been watching sports since before my parents met, dude.
Oof, I love
Yeah,
that.
my mom and dad hadn't even like hugged, and I'd been watching sports. That's how advanced I am, my friend. Think about that. Think about
that's
that.
crazy because you got to think about a lot of
do you
stuff about
like
that.
what goes into buying like a small twisted tea? Because anytime I get a twisted tea, I go to the gas station, and it's just usually it's when I'm walking up and down the Vegas Strip. Like how often do we get twisted tea?
You know,
Like, it doesn't happen
twisted
often, but
teas are not
it's
strong.
usually like the tall boys or something. Like if they have like 2 for what is it, like 2 for $5, 2 for $5.50?
Yeah, 2 for $5.50.
Is that like that? Because it looks like you got like a 12-pack or something.
Yeah,
like
no.
that.
So I had a 12-pack of teas, then I had a 12-pack of Happy Dads. I do prefer Happy Dads more because they do have the electrolytes that.
What do Happy Dads taste like? Because I listen to the Full Send podcast a little bit, and I see like them pushing it and stuff.
You like Topo Chicos?
Topo Chicos?
The seltzer?
The seltzer? Hell no.
You like High Noons? If you don't like any seltzer, then you're not gonna like Happy Dads. Okay, well they taste exactly like High Noons. You got to get the fruit punch and the Death Row edition, and the flavor's grape. It's fantastic. But here's the thing about those Happy Dads: they have so much electrolytes, they keep you sober as you drink, and so you could finish a whole case. But
Happy
once
Dads
you hit that 13, 14, bro, you're like, oof, I gotta go to bed.
So Happy Dads do what?
You know,
They
Happy
give you
Dads
electrolytes as you're drinking them.
Yeah. So it's the healthiest seltzer out there.
It's the healthiest seltzer out
It's the healthiest seltzer out there. They also came out with the tea. Like, this is no plug. I just listen to the Full Send all the time.
Have you had the have you had the High Noon tea?
I have had the High Noon tea. I do prefer the High Noon tea over the Happy Dad tea, but the Happy Dad seltzer, I would take that over anything right now. I would.
The Happy Dad seltzer overall.
Over a Topo, over a Blue Moon, you have a Happy Dad, I'm gonna order that.
Damn, bro.
I love beer.
Do you?
I love it so much. Even IPAs, like I had went to like a whole beer fest and had like
I'm way like 132. I said,
oh, you're drinking a fucking Love Street, dude.
Yeah, I'm five deep on this stream, but
slam it.
Yeah, I had a few, but yeah, I'm good, dude. But yeah, you're trying to peer pressure me now. Yeah, you slammed. Dude, that was empty. That's fake right there. That's Taylor Swift chug right there. That's a Taylor Swift Super Bowl.
I'll drink another one, broski. We outside. We're here. We're on the this is the locker room. I've invaded the stream. I'm here with my mentor, Landry Locker. You can find him on YouTube.
You're doing the reset, huh? You're going fundamental.
Going fundamental, man. Doing what I learned from you.
So is Harley going or what?
I think he is. And Harley's hardworking, bro. What y'all don't know is Harley is a manager at like a food tent. If it's not a food tent, it's a Foodorama. So he's in charge of like 30 people, bro. He shows up at like 3 a.m. So he's used to all this waking up early stuff. And we were there today, bro. We got completely soaked. Like, it got to the point where our shorts were falling off our waist because we were that wet. Pause. But it was insane.
Yeah, Jonathan says I fell short of 6 for 60. I did. I drank 2 in the Truth barbecue line. Then I had a large Crawford Bock, and then I had a Art Car, and then I decided I was going to try to drink 6 in between eating.
You ever
Truth
gone
barbecue.
to a game and done the 999 challenge?
What's the 999? I mean,
9 innings, 9 hot dogs, 9 beers.
Nah, that's weird. That's
That's
like do it
weird?
for the gram weirdo stuff.
Dude,
I'm
that's
sure
just,
people
that's
forget.
just for the
9
vibe,
hot
dude.
dogs and 9 beers
And 9 innings though, Landry.
and 9 innings.
9 innings.
So have you you should play this game next time you go to an Astros game. Are you gonna go to any Astros games for the remainder of the year?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think I'm going to the game on Monday.
Okay. So how many people are you going with?
Oh, it was just me and my boy Will.
All right, so y'all need to make this bet, and this is
Go
a
ahead.
sick ass game. My wife's actually really into this game, like to where, like it kind of makes her want to like get drunk
Drink?
at baseball games. Am I lying? She's
Hold
working.
on, bro. Let me get tea.
All right, he's gonna go get him a tea. So the game's actually pretty sick. So in between innings, it depends what happens, but the baseball gets thrown to the mound. And usually it's the umpire. And you make a bet. You rotate who calls it. So you rotate who calls whether it's going to land on the dirt or the grass. So basically you say on the mound or off the mound. And if you get it wrong, you have to buy the next round. If you get it right, then the other person has to buy the next round. So pretty sick for sure. Yeah, you gotta bet dirt, dude.
I got to
You don't
what?
even know. So you bet if the ball's gonna land on the dirt between innings.
Not the grass, but the dirt.
Well, the mound, because
Okay.
the umpire throws it to the mound or someone throws it to the mound, and if you get it right, then the other person has to buy the round. If you get it wrong, then you have to buy the round.
And is this only when the umpire throws the ball?
No, it's like between every inning they throw the baseball out there, and it lands and it either lands on the dirt or not. I learned this from a bunch of freaking Yankee fans when I was a kid.
So this is a game.
Sick. Yeah, this was when I was a kid, but the Yankee fans were playing this, and it was like a sick ass game.
Dude, I play tabs in dominant hand when we drink here at the crib. So whenever you drink a beer in my place, you have to take off the tab. All right. At any moment, if I see your tab on, anyone could call you out. You have to slam. Right. If I'm right-handed, I have to drink with my left hand. That's why I'm drinking with my left hand. If I get caught drinking with my dominant hand by anyone, someone calls it Manchester. On Manchester, you got to slam through a funnel. It's just the rules of the house.
What does that mean? You got to do a beer bong?
So yeah. Basically, some dude from the military taught it to me. He's like, whenever someone's drinking with their non-dominant hand, with their dominant hand, if you're right-handed, left-handed, if you're left-handed, right-handed, you call Manchester and they have to slam.
What is going on here, brother?
I'm sorry, bro.
Like, what are you doing, man? Like that's a little much, man.
20s,
like,
dog.
are y'all
I'm in my
playing beer
20s.
pong too? You got a beer pong table?
Yeah, I mean, I have a granite table in my apartment, so it's about 10 foot long, so it's a good size for beer pong. You just have to line it up correctly. You good in beer pong? You still got the got the flick of the wrist or what?
I'm good, dude. What I've learned is the people that like pride themselves on being good at beer pong are the ones who like to drink the least. But here's my I mean, I'm talking crap. I'm too old for that, but you should always drink with your non-dominant hand.
Really?
Yeah, you should always drink with your left hand because you can shake someone's hand when you meet them. That's white boy frat stuff. So you should always you should never drink in your right hand, but that's like token white boy BS. But like you drink with your left because you can like greet someone and shake them with the right. That's kind of like billion type stuff.
You have any chance before you slam?
Huh?
Like you have any chance before you slam? You have any sayings before you slam?
Slam what?
You know, like any sayings, like you and your boys, you say like a little chant before y'all take a shot or before y'all take your first swig of beer.
No, I don't think so. No, you just take the shot.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really like toast. Just give me the shot and then
I feel it for you.
What do you know
What are we
about
talking about, dude?
What do you know about nose burners? Like, since we're going
nose burners?
Yeah, what do you know about nose burners?
I mean,
this was my crazy ass day. Like, whew, well, you wouldn't see me back in this day.
Nah, nose burners. I don't know anything about that,
you
bro.
know about nose burners, bro?
Unless you're talking about the fucking. Unless you're talking about the.
No. I'm not talking about
the devil's dandruff, and then that's
I'm
a
not talking
different
about crazy
story.
like that. But this was. I mean, this is so back in the day, the nose burners where you get a shot of tequila, you take the shot of tequila, and then right here, you pour the
salt lemon.
Drop. No, you pour the drop.
Okay.
You pour the drop from the shot, and then you just snort the tequila, the remaining tequila.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that tomorrow.
It's a nose burner.
I'm gonna do that tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean that'll trip some folks out. I don't really know what it does, but I mean that was like back in the day.
I don't know what it does, but I heard about it.
Yeah. Real crazy. But yeah, man. Well, I'll let you go get ready for the practice tomorrow, man. 713 Sports, just a little bit different than your average media type, but he's doing his thing. He's out there in the streets taking photos too, man.
Hey, dude, I try to do everything I can. I try to put myself in every Houston Texans activity. Like for example, dude, the uniform reveal party. The only way I got tickets for that was because my friend, she had just put herself in. She won, and she's like, "Hey, do you want to go?" So it's like I try to do my best to get to every single Houston Texans event to give you guys the content. You know, one of the reasons why I started this, I used to work in the plants, and I used to always look for podcasts, YouTube videos. So, you know, doing this for the people out there who work hard. And guys, Landry, bro, you deserve this 10K. You're going to get 20K. You're going to get 30K. I'm so proud of what you're going to grow into. You are my mentor, bro. Like, you've done a lot, not only for me, but for a lot of other people around. And even if they don't tell you that you've helped them out, thank you so much from the bottom of all our hearts, dude. Keep it up. You, Stutes, you guys are fantastic. You're as real as it can be, man. Like, when people ask you a question, you answer back. Other people don't. Shout out to you, Landry.
Man, Miguel says, I think Ruben's buzzed. No, duh.
I think Miguel's buzzed.
Duh. Like,
shout out to Miguel.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, he's buzzed. What's wrong with that? It's Friday night, man. My man's been working hard. He's grinding. He's chugging twisted teas. Of course he's buzzed. Come on, man. It's my guy right there. All right, Rube, I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you so much, man. You have a good day. Blessed day.
There you go. Yes, sir. Manana, he will be out there. That's Ruben. So we're on 6. I kind of pushed it back. I'm not gonna lie. The Truth Barbecue did its thing. So I'll finish off beer 6 here. As wifey walks in with wine, we got the baby asleep. Finally. Appreciate everyone for coming through. Practice is in what do we got? 8 hours and 43 minutes. It's going to be fun. CJ Stroud rallies the troops. Ugly practice, but it was kind of beautiful because you saw CJ do his thing. We talked about the glue guys. It was fun to hear from Brevin Jordan and Juice Scruggs, among others. And I appreciate everyone for coming through again. Thank you so much for getting me to 10K. Thank you so much for joining me with the 6 and 60 practice report tomorrow, probably about 12:30, 1 o'clock. And we'll see what happens. And then it's going to be game week. We're going to be a few days away from a game. Always remember, when it comes to this Texans stuff, no matter what happens, we're all in it together. Appreciate y'all for coming through the locker room. Friday night, 6 and 60.
If it's up, then it's up. We number one. You don't need to try your luck. Locker room, yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk, yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize, every angle's what we really do. We the source, we the pulse of the city too.